told you.
What is happening, crew? Happy New Year to all of you. We had to bring the brother. It was just in the universe today. It was here. We had to have Simon with us. Welcome in, brother. Dad, love you. How you guys doing today?
Simon, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing very well. Sorry, I decided to look up the show real quick, and I forgot I had it run in the background, so I'm totally getting some echo. I'm like, wait a minute, how come I'm hearing myself 3 times? I'm doing great. As you both know, I got the pink slip a week ago this past Friday, and I'm right where I want to be. Actually, it feels good. It feels real good. Don't get me wrong, the day job is good. You get that guaranteed flow, right? But when you really figure out where you want to be, at least for a little while, and what you want to do in that path, man, everything feels like a headache just to try to get you there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for a lot of people out in the crypto market that I talk to. Especially those with this is their first like real bull run, and now they're going to be able to look back internally like most of us have, at least within our first bull run, whenever that was, whatever market that was, and to take inventory of how they were, how they operated, right? It's so cool to see the people believe but still are in disbelief that it's happening. And that's such a cool thing that we all go through. It's like, who was I? Oh, I think I was talking to Al. Was I talking to you about the Santa Claus effect?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's the Santa Claus effect, right? From 1 to 7, maybe 12, you believe in the Santa Claus. After that, reality sinks in. You come to terms with some other things there, and then in your 30s, you see 8 tiny reindeer in a sleigh go through the sky, and you're like, shut the front door. And all of a sudden, your belief that you had buried deep within is a reality. You're like, no way. No. Yep, I'm still alive here. So it's so cool to experience that with people. Yeah, so cool to experience. Totally, how you boys doing?
I'm doing great. I'm Brent's under the weather.
I'm alive. It was just from literally putting out all the energy and love I could to this. I'm living what I'm saying on our channel here. I'm living it. So nice. It's a good under the weather. It's I'm up writing notes, the notes of a madman, watching my dad's Thursday video, which I know I say this a lot. It's probably a broken record. It was my favorite video that you've done. It's summarized so much of how I felt about like what Simon just said about those phases of us being in this type of kind of investment category, and then also like trying to think about all of it in the big picture. And I was motivated. I was fired up. I was right there with you. Like, my own thoughts were popping out, and it was just like, wow. Like my old man's cooking, man. You are cooking, Dad. I love it. I'm here for it, dude. I'm your biggest fan, man.
That show was so unique because I made all this show up, and had this whole trust thing laid out. And I was like, I'm going to talk about this trust. And this trust is so clear in my head. By the way, everybody is blowing me up. I don't know whether it's because this week's been so bullish for XRP, but everybody's blowing me up about getting the trust. So all of a sudden it's like, I know XRP's for real. Like you were just talking about a minute ago, Simon. I know it's for real. I know I'm in. I know I nailed this bull. I'm feeling confident. I better, tick some boxes. But I had written all that show out, and I just can't wait to do this show. And right before I went on, I was going to do that show that I did Thursday live for the Friday, Saturday show and launch that I normally do, just a monologue.
Right, yeah.
But I was like, no, this is too good, and I need too much time for it. I need like an hour and a half to lay it all out. And the way I laid it out, so funny that you thought it was a great show, Brent, because people either hated it or loved it. I got a lot of both. Yeah.
Oh, man.
A lot of people were like, dude, you are totally wrong. You don't get the whole picture. And a lot of people were like, oh my God, I've never heard you put it and lay it out like that before. Wow, you nailed that. So anyway.
I wrote this one down. Please do not wish for another man's failure. You sound like shit.
That was good. That was great. Actually, that was great. I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that in different phrases. That was great. I'm so glad you brought that up, Brent. That was awesome.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it out of
No.
people's mouths anymore, dude. I am here for your success. That's
my favorite one was
the three of us amigos get on
my
here.
favorite part of the whole thing was Scam Bankman and his girlfriend can't spell IQ. Dude, I always thought that guy was pretty intelligent until I watched some of those court hearings with him, and I was like, this guy's dumb as a rock. Like he's not dumb. He's like smart at what he is, but not aware of the rest of the world. He's that academic smart, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
he's not savvy at all. He was saying very incriminating things in court, and I was like, dude, shut up. You're just like shooting holes in the bottom of the boat, man. What are you doing to yourself? And his attorney let him roll. I don't know. It was crazy. But yeah, please. One of my favorite stories in very beginning of crypto was 2017, I believe it was, when crypto crashed. A good, very personal friend of mine calls me, didn't know I owned Bitcoin, didn't know I owned crypto, and was laughing in the phone about, how about all those suckers that bought all that crypto? What a bunch of losers. I knew it was going to happen to those people, and he had no idea that the person on the other phone. And I said, you know who Joe is, bro. I love Joe. He's passed on. He's one of the reasons why I paint. I got into painting, but he is the reason, actually. But he said, so I said to him, I said, well, Joe, does it make you feel better that another man lost a bunch of money? Why does that make you feel good? Mm-hmm. Have you taken inventory on what that emotion is? Why do you feel good about someone else losing money?
Right.
What's going on there? You know? Yeah. It's crazy.
I know.
What do you got?
Maybe Joe had a little internal problem with, maybe he realized that he missed the boat and he just wasn't unsure, you know, kind of one of those things. I've been there like, it sounds good, but I can't pull the trigger. No, I'm not going to do it. Now I'm digging in my heels. Right. But I didn't know it then. I do know it now. I'm something I'm still working on today, but that could have been it. That could have been part of the, I knew it was going to go down. It's more of a, I didn't lose.
Yeah.
Right. You know, oh, look at those suckers, you know, and making yourself feel better for not, you know, for participating. I'm speculating, but for me, if that was me and I was in those shoes, that's exactly what would be going on, you know, because that's human nature for me.
I called a friend out just the other day who said, sent me some article about how Bitcoin, it's a rug pull and be careful. And the whole world's trying to get you to buy it. And I'm like, you and I talked about this yesterday, Summit. Who's getting anybody to try and buy it? Like, it's not on CNN say, hey, run out and buy crypto.
No.
Even Trump isn't saying buy crypto. He's saying we're going to buy crypto. Like, so what are you talking about? Like, nobody's telling you to buy it. You only know me, and I'm buying it. So he said, well, I think it's a whole rug pull thing, and Bitcoin's a scam, and XRP, and I don't know, and this whole thing. And I looked at him, and I said, well, real simple question. So it's your financial opinion that I should sell my crypto today? Is that what would you sell your crypto for for an investment tomorrow. Name something. What do you got?
Yeah.
And that's when they just go silent.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't want to be responsible. They didn't get in when we got in, but they don't want to be responsible because it 10Xs over the next year and go, oh, wow, sorry, Alan, I told you to sell all your crypto and it 10X'd and could have changed your life forever.
Mm-hmm.
They know better than that, right? They're smart enough about that. It was interesting the way I laid it on him. And he came back to me. He's like, he didn't have an answer.
You bring up a kind of a real interesting topic. Is a component of the I'm going to call it hateration. The haterade that everybody's spewing out is because they themselves are not participating. If they participated at $10, would that quail the negativity coming from the other side of the conversation? Would that stop some of that? Because I think now that we're just talking about this, that is part of the thing. Oh, I would never invest. It's like, well, then don't invest. Just play. Just throw $10 in there, and then tell me I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Throw $10. Tell me I'm wrong. And I'm not coming from a cocky position. I'm saying, dude or lady, this can elevate one's leapfrog. It can leapfrog someone's financial standing. Okay. It has that potential. I'm willing to go with that, because the other investments that have already been laid out for the past hundreds and hundreds of years, right? Real estate, agricultural businesses, etc. Right? Those are there. So this is, arguably a quicker way to receive that wealth, to go deposit that wealth into other sectors and have that grow. Right? It's take from here. It's almost like it's seeds and water. You got the seeds, and the water is over in this old way of doing things, per se, or these old style investments that have been arguably tried and true. There is a plan, there's strategies for almost every type of situation. This is new. This is getting all of us that are your normal individuals, if you will, normal worker bees at whatever level, high earners, low earners, whatever. We get this shot to elevate our financial standing and be able to take advantage of that and participate at quicker over here in these other markets. And that's just my opinion. But I think that's where a lot of the hateration is. It's like, you're not in. Oh, no, I'm not in. That's why you're talking noise. Jump in. Dude, you know what? Here's $10 of my money. Go ahead. And if you want X, you got to give me the $10 back.
Yeah.
Totally. I probably wouldn't do that. I'm like, no, spend your own money. There's some more pride there. But anyways, that's my thoughts.
Touched on that a video not long ago. It's like, I understand if you worship and you know everything there is to know about XRP, and most of us do in those two terms. Okay, worship's maybe not the right word, but you know everything. You understand it. You know that's going to 10x, 50x in your lifetime, and you're excited about owning it. I made a really good point in a video or two ago that a lot of people took it the opposite direction. And it was like, well, I don't like Bitcoin. It's like, no, man, you need 2% of it. So if you've got 100 grand in crypto, why don't you have $2,000 in it? Why? You have your own country buying Bitcoin. Your country is not buying lumber. It's not buying diamonds. It's not buying NVIDIA. It's buying Bitcoin, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, if that isn't significant to you, then you are the hateration. You are stuck in that veil of like, I worship this coin. Maybe worship was the right word. I can only see this coin. If you're right about your other 98% of your portfolio, what do you care that the other 2% had Bitcoin in it? Dude, you nailed a 100x on a 98% of your portfolio. It's a really good point that a lot of people are missing. I don't feel that way about Ethereum. I only feel that way. And I feel the same way about Bitcoin maxis. Dude, if you're a Bitcoin maxi and you don't have 2% of your portfolio in XRP, you're just an idiot. You're stuck in the Bitcoin maxi. Oh, Bitcoin's going to be everything to all things, and all the other coins are going to disappear. Well, clearly the banking system needs more than Bitcoin, right?
Sure. Yeah. Maybe
It's the same thing. It's in the ratio is even better in that sense, because if XRP does what we think, that 2% of all your Bitcoin portfolio is going to go ballistic. Multiples beyond what your Bitcoin is going to grow, in my opinion.
Right. And I get it. I really do get that. The what I call it bannerism. You kind of you stay in your lane, and you stay in your lane. Then you become part of the community, right? You're feeling it. You're talking with like-minded individuals on that one coin or that one project. And then you see the things of other projects that make you feel uncomfortable for whatever reason, but you didn't spend enough time figuring out why it actually made you feel uncomfortable. So you just do what most of us do. Ooh, I don't like that. Like you stop, you stop. And it's human nature. It's totally human nature. We stop right there, as opposed to go, okay, why don't I like that? What grosses me out? What doesn't vibe with me? Why is it, why is this happening? Or how is this happening? How is this happening to me? Like, I shouldn't be, on something or I mean, it's like, I get it. Manchester United and Liverpool, Boston and New York. I get it. It's like, okay, town for town, right? Yeah, different way of living, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Yeah. But y'all got love for the game. Y'all are playing the same stickball. Y'all playing the same football. Like, dude, appreciate the game. Try to get back to that. And I'm telling you, you might actually see the value, in the other team, even though it's like, dude, you're playing in the same league. Hello, you're part of it, man. Participate. Go get you a Boston Red Sox hat. Just to even if you hang it on your wall, it says, "I will never wear this," but yet you bought the hat. Good job. I bought Bitcoin. I will never use this. Good. Don't. But you have something. That's the point. Because then you'll be able to see maybe the value perspective of that coin to others, and you can appreciate value, because that's what we're after here. The bigger picture, Alan's 100,000 foot view, my now 10,000 foot view is value. Where's the value? Why does that person value it? Can I apply that value into my life? Do I have value? Am I seeing value in my own personal life? So Alan, I agree with you. Why don't you have this is a great question. Why don't
it
you?
Is. Yeah. And the other one too, now that's a crypto specific conversation, but like, how much of your portfolio should be in real estate? How much should be in precious metals?
Right.
I mean, how much should be in crypto? All of those things are like, well, I don't have any precious metals. It's like, well, if you've got 40, 50 grand or 100 grand into, or even 10, 15 grand into crypto, like, you don't have any silver, you don't have any land, you don't have, like, okay, I get it. If you're starting out, you're just trying to build a portfolio and you're really wanting that 10x number. But man, it's not a bad idea. I mean, it's just, diversification, obviously.
Alec, can you share the story about Mr. Silver Surfer? Because I think that applies here.
I actually, I've shared that quite a few times on here, but it's okay. For sure. No, it's really good. He's been watching Brent and I's show. Brent and I met him in the Silver Symposium.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, like 2 years ago. And he had a fairly small channel at the time. Of course, ours wasn't all that big either. And he and I and Mike Brown, right, Brent? Mike Brown? Something Brown.
Sounds right.
He is a big economic channel. His channel, when he does a video, it gets like 1 million views. It's a no, it does. Yeah, he's like whatever. It does really good work. So I was talking. The three of us were talking at this table, and I just started. Hey, well, I got a channel. I started. Oh, what are you into? Crypto. And the table went quiet. You know, they were both like, well, we're okay.
Standard operation of how conversation of people that don't know crypto, one person that does goes.
Yeah. They didn't really want to talk about crypto. You can join in on the conversation, but we're not talking about crypto right now. So it was kind of one of those things. But we shared info. And then he went to my show, came to our show like a couple of Sundays later, and he was watching Brent Knight. He was in the comments. And then I want to say he was probably 6 months later. He goes, you know, I did it. You talked me into it. Basically, I got a text from him that basically said, I don't know whether it's the biggest mistake of my life or whatever, but I bought XRP. And he bought it at 50 cents. And then he said, and then the last text I got from him was like, dude, it's at $2.50. I 5X'd. And it's more than I've made off my silver in the last 10 years.
Right.
Yeah.
That's math, right? Yeah, that's math right there. Anyway, by the way, he and his father's a banker and has a bunch of friends who are all bankers, as you imagine. And they want to interview myself. And I was like, let's play. Let's do it. So if he sees the show, reach out again to me, brother. I have his phone number, and every time I text him lately, he doesn't get back. So
you did make sure they're not interviewing for a yacht captain, right?
Right. Yeah. No.
Okay.
No, that's
all right.
No. They're not doing Mel.
How many times does that come up in this crypto journey?
Dude.
I mean, that I witnessed.
Dude, my uncle just texted me about that. My uncle texted me that.
That's the I call that
text him back, Dad, about yacht stuff.
I call that the Carmine effect.
Well,
you remember that?
But it's just, I mean, I get it. Like, I get their perspective, but it's like, it's on the other side of the coin there of like, dude, you know, we're in the same game right now, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah,
I am not going to be.
No,
we're gonna hit some waves, and the swell is about 12 feet today. Like, that's not happening.
No,
you know,
I'm gonna be in the back deck, right, passing your boat. While your small boat's over here, I'm going to be on the bigger boat on the aft deck with my own cigar out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not driving your boat, dude.
I could think how it's got the big cigar, you know, 2 foot,
Yeah,
2 foot Cuban, the 2 foot extended Cuban or something.
Cuban.
He's Rodney Dangerfield back there.
Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield.
That's my buddy. My buddy. I want to go over there.
Right. He just turns the wheel. Yeah, I mean, I didn't take it insultingly. I took it so comically. But yeah, Mel Carmine decided he was going to hire me as his boat captain when he gets rich off XRP.
Hey, that's fine. You just charge him 100,000 XRP. I'll drive your ship.
It's funny. People don't understand that it's not insulting. It's just not thinking, you know, in the moment, you know what I mean? It's like, well, yeah, dude. Okay. Right. I'll be your boy. Oh, not. Why would I be your boy? I don't. Come on now.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just reading the question. I know. Liv, what's good?
Happy Sunday, Liv.
Nice. We got Liv in the house. We got everybody's here.
We got Northern Zips, love in the comments. Thank you. Atlantic, I'm so happy you're with us always.
Much love, Atlantic.
Troy, you the man. You the man.
Oh, Troy, hey, that's my people right there. PA in the house. What's good?
Love it.
We got. I noticed Wayne's in here too. I was on a call with April and Wayne and I this week, and what a genuine, real person. We have the best people. Do you know? I probably shouldn't be even telling the story, but let me just say this. He's donating. He doesn't have any children. And when he passes, It's one of the biggest reasons why he set the trust up. He's donating this to children.
Nice.
Wow.
All of his crypto, all of his holdings, not his sister, not his cat, to kill children. And I was like that's the kind of stuff that I hear about every day that I'm just like, the people that we have around here is just amazing. It's really, really cool. Yeah. I hope his sister's not watching this. She maybe isn't supposed to watch.
Spoiler alert, family drama to be continued.
Edit that part, Wayne. Cut that.
Yeah, I don't know if StreamYard has like the kill button that they do have on the radio where it beeps. I don't know if they have that.
We got Trini in the house. We're going to see Trini here pretty quick, guys.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, the three of us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, he's coming on the show. I know. I'm very, very excited about Vegas, man. Very pumped up. I'm very, very pumped up for Vegas.
I wish I had known Trini 10 years ago.
Yeah.
In my drinking days.
He is honestly the time that I spent with Trini. You know, what do you mean? He's in your dreams. Is this why you can't sleep?
That's right. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that alone. In Vegas, we'll have a pool conversation about that. Okay.
We will for sure.
You know, when I was spending time with Trini in Vegas, and him and I just having a good conversations, he is doing everything on a financial strategic level that I am aspiring to do. And it was so great to meet someone, you know, in the current trenches, navigating that and doing that, man. And seeing the little happy smile on his face. Oh, I'm doing that. It's like, I love like, man, just that burst of energy pop, man. He is literally a gem. Definitely I wouldn't say a diamond in the rough, but a diamond in the safe that nobody knows about. If you ever get a chance to really conversate with Trini, make sure you bring that special scotch that he likes. I know he likes that special scotch.
And if you know anything about using money, or you want to learn more about how to make money with money, he's the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with. Really sharp. Yeah,
he is. Yeah.
True player. Real estate and just the edge of crypto. He blew my mind on both things when we talked after Vegas. There too, but it was just like, wow, man, you're doing it, bro. You're doing it. Keep doing it, brother. Keep doing it.
We got by the way, too, Zip show. I watched 2 more episodes this week. Yes.
He just had a new one pop off today. I was about to watch it, but I got this delicious invite to come on this super extravagant YouTube channel.
So that's definitely.
Welcome
extravagant.
Extravagant.
Somebody told me that somebody ripped us off, and it's Gary Cardone is calling his Sunday show church. And I was, dude, we were talking about this show, called it church a year ago, well over like 2 years ago, because it's the only thing we do religiously. And it was kind of a reference to a place. I'm not trying to insult church at all. Trust me, that's not what I'm doing here. But it's one of those things. It's like, well, you do it on a Sunday and we do it religiously. And it's like, well, it's kind of like church. Yeah, that's kind of what. And now he calls his channel church on Sundays. And I was like, oh, man. All right.
Okay. He's Texas based, right? Is he Texas based?
Who?
No, he's Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah.
The new crypto capital of the world.
No, I want to move there. And I might. Oh my gosh. Talk about a thing. I don't know you guys where I know where you guys live, but I don't know if you guys are dealing with this yet. But the crypto drama at the jurisdictional leftovers at level here in my state is ridiculous. Like, I'm getting to the point where I am. At first, I was coming from a perspective of, well, don't tempt me, just puffing out my chest. But now I'm really considering about moving to a different state to acquire residency of that state so I can still participate on all these exchanges. Like it's becoming it's becoming a little bit more than a pebble in my boot.
Wow.
It's starting to be, I can just see it. And have you guys been coming across any of that? Some kind of the nets being reeled in as far as different exchanges? I know we got Caleb and Brown. I think that's great. Thank God for Caleb and Brown. I know there's Coinbase and a few others, but 2-3 years ago, there used to be far more exchanges. Some, were scams, but others have been tried and true, but they just don't have the permission from certain states to play ball there. And it is aggravating, very, very aggravating. You guys been experiencing any of that with people you talk to at all, or?
Cali's sort of in the middle, I think. It's not too bad. I mean, you got to remember, Ripple's in Cali. So that's not the end of the world. Yeah.
Thank God.
And, yeah, we have, what else is in California?
Wasn't Kraken in California for a time?
In California.
Right?
So they've kind of like tech is kind of big here, obviously, Silicon Valley. But you know how they are. They like to monopolize things and crush things. And they pushed Elon out of the state, and that's just unacceptable to me. And I don't even understand how somebody could be that stupid. But anyway, that's who runs the place currently. I got a great point to make.
Okay.
You guys are going to love this one. I was on a phone call with a guy who lives in Colorado, and he knows who he is. And he's like, well, I moved out of California, and, I moved to this state, and it's just as liberal. And I'm moving to Texas next. And I said, can I tell you something, bro? Let me do a little math for you. Do you know that there's more conservatives in the state of California than there are in Texas?
Yeah, I believe it.
Look it up, dude. You look at the population, you look at the vote count, and then you look at the percentage of vote count and look at how many conservatives live in the state of California. Don't just listen to what Los Angeles tells you. That's like believing that all media is CNN. That's not it. So he was like, no way, really? And I'm like, yeah, think about it. There's 34 million people in this state. And almost half of them voted red. So what does that tell you? I mean, how many states even have 15 million people? Anyway. Yeah, right. Not many. I mean, there's only 9 million in Manhattan, right? Something like
technically, that doesn't even count because of who owns Manhattan Island. Like, you can't even count that. And in fact, that brings up a valid point. Since we can't count the residents of Manhattan Island, so do they have the right to vote? Because the owner of that island happens to not be of this jurisdiction. I'm just questioning things. I mean, if you guys get banned for that, I'm sorry.
We got to be able to question things, don't we?
Yeah.
Good point, though. Good point.
You know what I'm seeing, guys?
What are you saying?
It just hit me hard. This is like 2 nights ago. I run into a buddy I used to work with, and he's telling me about a friend of mine who works there still. And my dad and I have always talked about the younger generations are in our mind, it's the tip of the spear. This thing is it's easier and easier to access knowledge. Life's a little bit easier and easier to handle.
Oh, yeah.
The generations are trying to take a little better care of each other. It's gonna manifest into something big here for our kiddos. My younger friends are like Rumpelstiltskin all of a sudden with crypto. They're day trading essentially meme coins and finding the ones that are just have pumped, have hit.
Yeah.
And they're turning that into XRP.
Yep.
Not suggesting that that's the way anybody should go about it.
No, but it works.
Yeah. But they're like, some of my friends are crushing it doing that. And nice. they've been able to backbuild and have like this big bag of what they really wanted. And there's so many ways to go about this. And yeah, before we're out of here today, like I just want to hit up Simon to just give us a couple tools, bro. Of you gave me some praise this morning of just kind of taking the advice and really starting to think about my bankroll and how to save and how to get a little bit ahead step by step. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's the most important one. It's I don't want to gamble and try to build my investments all of that way. I want to do it. If I got a job, if I got an income coming in, if I got assets making me money, I want to, wisely send it down that road of, how do I grow this? And you were talking about it earlier. Once you've got some skin in the game, that's when people start to look at stuff. That's when people start to be like, okay, I want to understand this. Okay, what's this blockchain thing about? Oh, it is actually a lot radically different. It's revolutionary difference versus the systems that we've been using before. Just the nature of it not being, it's finite. It's deflationary. It's more decentralized. It's all of those things. Mm-hmm. I want to hear you cook on that too, bro. Because you are just a wealth of wisdom in my life, and I want to thank you for that this year because it put me.
Brother, man, most of that's not my wisdom. That's other people's wisdom that I've just been able to put into my own thesis, really. So I mean, it really comes from the people that are upline. I mean, I talk about this book all the time. Richest Man in Babylon, great book. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, great book. I've been going down. It's a very big book. This next one, Think and Grow Rich, but it really addresses. By the way, the Think and Grow Rich book that is vastly huge, right? I'm going to say mindset. All right. Manifestation starts here. That being said, that part is touched on in both the previous books that I just mentioned, Richest Man in Babylon and Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yep.
And I just found out by a matter of just not even thinking about it, but universe gave it to me. Robert Kiyosaki has written many books highlighting different components of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book and, diving down deeper, which was good. And he talks about what book did I just read? How the rich get richer. Right. And this is a book he wrote in 2017. And he touches on the mindset, like thinking about it, and then the spirituality part. Wait, that's something that doesn't really get talked about in your financial literacy, but it's like it's there. It just doesn't get talked to at length. I say that because the Think and Grow Rich is very much about the mindset and the spirituality, And Brent, I'm so grateful that I appreciate the praise, man. But really, it's you taking action, like I took action, and that's what it takes. It takes action,
Yeah.
In some of my videos, I try not to say the word budget because for me, it still has a negative connotation. Even now, I just got goosebumps up my spine, like nails on a chalkboard. So I try not to say that word, but I do embrace that word. No, this is my budget. This is my plan. And I have to make sure my plan is still going accordingly. I check in with my financial plan budget like every week. I'm looking at how much money's going out. I'm looking at how much money is projected to come in, right?
Yeah.
If I can do that just in my W-2 job, then I'll be able to do that in my investments, right? Brent, you were talking about, hey, I want to get these investments. Good. Step one is, take 10% of your paycheck, set it aside for wealth building. Everything else, that 90%, you could do whatever you want with. Pay your bills, build a separate emergency fund, whatever, right? Get that down. You got that down to a within a certain margin, then you're able to take that 10% and go, what's the first thing I want to buy that I feel, based on my research, is an asset? Mm-hmm. And then and that's kind of a phase 2. Your phase 3 is, how can I get that asset to start bringing me a small cash flow back to me? Is that possible? What does that look like? Well, if price goes up, I could sell. Okay, that's one way. Great. Is there another way that I'm not looking at? How else can I use that? This is how great entrepreneurs work. Any entrepreneur works. It's that creative mind. But those great entrepreneurs go from W-2s to small business. By the way, both of those, according to one of the Rich Dad Poor Dad books, are heavily taxed. I did my research. They are. But the whole point of those is you're training to become into big business and what Robert Kiyosaki defines as a professional investor. And that professional as an investor is able to look, like Alan does so many times on the show, at an asset and how that asset can stream cash flow back to you, right? And that stream, at first we might think of it as like DeFi. I take my XRP, I pair it up with another pairing, I put it into a liquidity pool, AMA, I always say AMA, AMM, and I get a residual. Okay, that's one type of cash flow. There are others that we just don't quite understand that point of view yet, like debt. If any of you are in the IBC process, you're really going to understand the benefit of debt to a banker. And on your journey to becoming a banker, debt is an asset. It just depends on what side of the coin you're on, and in that perspective, so if you could do that with your crypto. And I did a video last week, trying a new format according to YouTube analytics. And I talked about having a plan. What are you going to do with this money? What are you going to do with this profit? Where are you? We hear great things. Hey, I got the trust. Hey, that's good. Am I ready for a trust? Like, not mentally. Like, it sounds great. But is this actually a good time for me to do that in my own life? I need to take accountability. Yeah. Where's my line? Where's my threshold? Where is it where is the line that says, hey, you should have got this yesterday? Okay, where's that? Where is that? Where's that? I should have got this yesterday. Crypto rich. Okay. Hey, I've got enough money here with half of my assets. If I liquidate half my assets, I'll have this much cash on hand. I will also have my house paid off, all my debts paid off. That could happen. I'm not going to execute that, but it could. Okay, if that's going to happen, if that can happen, would this be a good time to get the trust?
Right.
Maybe. You might really need to look at that. Like, now you got to go down the learning road. How can this trust help me? Like, where you're going to have to science it, as B-Man always says. You got to science the crap out of it. Taxes is another thing. We don't like talking about taxes, but if you really just look at the rule book or find someone that knows the rule book, by the way, that's a whole nother challenge. That's something I'm on right now is learning how to vet someone that, is not just with filling out forms. Bro, I can do that. I need someone that can see the strategy. Like I see strategies in crypto. I need them to see strategies in taxes and structures, so I can hire them to be a part of my team. Well, figuratively team. It's not like I'm a big CEO and they work for me. It's not like that, right? No, just part of my go-to team. And that's been a challenge. It's been a great challenge, but I'm still banging my head up against the wall. Go, I don't know. I don't know yet. And these are great I don't knows, because that means there's just more unresolved issues within that I have to go through to have to figure out for myself and with others. Right. And collaboration like with you, Alan, and B-Man and other people that I talk to, you know, it's really kind of helping build my bigger overall wealth building thesis for myself that I just try to pass on to other people that like B-Man, dude, you're 2 years behind me in education in the reality, right? You're really only 2 years.
Catch up quick.
Like, you catch up quick. You know, I'm still probably going to see things quicker than you, but not by much.
No,
you know, I mean, it's not about that. And you might see things, you're going to see things that are different than what I see. And this is where we come together, where we go to events and conferences, where we go to the Panhandle of Florida, we sit down, we talk with like-minded individuals, we share information, and we grow together. But it really all starts by taking action. I'm telling you, you might be paycheck to paycheck. I bet you $10 right here now. I bet you $10. I can find a way for you to start reclaiming some of that money that's going through your boat. That even though you're like, I know where it all goes, maybe I still go, where's my money going? Where did I screw up today? How many times did I go to Chick-fil-A? Once. Are we sure? Oh, dang, I went for the wife. That's right. I was only addressing me, not actually where my money went. Turns out I have a bank statement on demand when I can look at my apps. Those are things that I've learned along the way. That's actually starts taking action. If you could take 10% of your earnings, you're going to do two things. And I didn't know I was doing the second thing till way later. One, I am giving myself confidence. No, this is mine. I'm going to build with this. This is mine. I don't care what anybody says. This is mine. And I'm going to use it for good things to build my wealth. Also, that other 90%, I'm learning how to live below my means. So didn't know that for many years. I was like, I'm already doing it. Oh, give myself credit for that. Yeah, pat on the back. You know, I thought I had to chisel off more to live below my means. Not really. But it's a good thought.
The big summary, if you will, somebody was like, hey, can somebody summarize what Simon just said? The big summary is this. You've taken the steps to understand the most important thing in life, and that is your finances.
Yeah.
You've taken those steps. Simon has taken those steps to an extreme in some people's views, but it's a natural path that he's on, and it's not complicated. You can get to where Simon's at very quickly.
Fast.
But most of us think, oh, well, I need the new shiny toy or this thing or the thing that everybody's telling you that you have to make you fulfill who your ego or whoever you might be. You don't need that. What you really need is your financial freedom. And that's what everybody in crypto is figuring out. There's a dozen different ways to do it, but your financial freedom should be the key that you're trying to unlock. That's the lock you're trying to unlock. And once you get it, we all get there with different ways, different averages. It could be crypto, could be real estate, could be side hustle, can be anything. But the responsibility of knowing how money works is the burden is on you. Yep. Not Simon, not Alan, not Brent. It's your personal life lesson. And if we could teach it in school, we'd probably even teach it wrong. But if you could teach people how money works, we probably would. We'd screw that up too. But if you can teach people the responsibility of when you spend this money, what's it really costing you?
Yeah.
It's costing you XRP that is not making you money. That's what it's costing you. In a complete basic summary, that's what.
Well, yeah. Absolutely. That money that went to somewhere else, it didn't go to you and what you want to do, but you kind of don't figure that out till later, till you take that hard look. I saw a Zips Tip says, thank you. I have Zips Tip says I found wasted money everywhere. You know, just like why am I doing this? Okay, well, you don't have to do a hard stop. I found a great life hack that I shared with B-Man. I've talked about it on the show a couple times, and that's the 4-week rule. It works. Dude, this is like going on Jenny Craig diet and having chocolate cake all day. You literally don't have to change anything.
Great
Yeah,
analogy.
I know that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jenny Craig. And for people that are trying to lose weight, keep going at it, keep doing it, like real deal. That too is a mental challenge. It's an everyday fight. And so is your finances. Your finances is an everyday. I call it a fight because I'm in that ring. I'm getting better. I'm not taking so many punches to the face. By the way, I'm on the other side of that glove, punching myself in the face more times than I think it's real life doing it. No, it's me. I'm allowing that at some level. Yeah. But the 4-week rule, you just write out all your bills when they're due. If you get paid every 2 weeks or every 1 week, it works really great. If you get paid twice a month, first and the 15th, but you get paid for all those days you worked, it still works. And by the end of the year, I'm telling you, by the beginning of December, you have all of December's bills, cash, liquid for you, ready to go right there. You could pay the whole month in advance. And then the rest of the month that you work through December, you're stacking up money for January and more. It's super easy. You don't even have to save. You don't even have to go, I got to give up my Starbucks. No, I have found a way for you to not give up your Starbucks right now. But you do need to look at giving up your Starbucks once you see this play. It's those things that could not have come into my life if I didn't sit down and go, no, I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of being at zero. Yeah. What am I doing wrong, if there is anything, and how am I doing it wrong? Where is that? And right. The how is, I'm always doing that. How, and yes, I go deep and I obsess over it. Go ahead, Alan.
I have such a great example. It's 11:11, by the way. I have such a great life lesson that I'm in right now. It's like, oh, well, I want to put new rims on my truck.
Oh, yeah, the truck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, the $1,000 is a lot of XRP. Like, whoa, wait a minute. What am I doing here, for number one? But number two, the other thing is the item going to enrich your life? Yes. Or are you saving money and making money with the money that you're saving? What is your life goal? Is it more time under the tree? Is it more time off of work? Is it more time with your friends and family? Is it more time fishing or golfing or doing the things you want to do with your life? Doing those things are more important than the better rims.
Yeah.
Agree.
They just totally are. And once you can get that, you're like, okay, I need to get my time in my life and my priorities right. How do I get there? Right. That's it. And you got to stay on point and figure out, well, I don't need the brand new shiny car. I'll fix up the old one I got, and I'll drive it.
Not today, but I'm going to get that shiny car. I'm going to get that shiny car. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it in a way that where I didn't have to do any out of pocket. I didn't have to put any extra new money on the table. I'm going to find a way to where my investments somehow, some way get me that car. Like for me, that's exciting because I'm doing two things. First, I'm going after the goal. I want the Porsche, very special Porsche, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. You've had it. I haven't. Or maybe I'm going to do the LS swap. Haven't done that either. That sounds like a good time, right? But pulling money out of my pocket to go directly to that thing is kind of like, there's so many other assets I could buy. I'm in the asset collection business now. I'm brand new to the game. Well, to the industry.
Yeah.
But I love what I see. I absolutely love what I see here. And those assets over time can get me the LS swap and the Porsche. I'll get both.
That's right. There you go.
I'll do.
I don't know who this brother is, but I love him already.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, that's it. Camping with friends. I mean, I love to ski and fish too. But all three of those are my life. This guy,
John, are you in Washington State? Let's go hang out.
Yeah, right. And his earlier comment was, "I wasted a lot of money on my ex-wife." You gotta like that one too.
Oh, you know what? Learn from that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's you know,
pay dividends. Well,
I went so I was so motivated by the chats. Like why I always goat Simon into talking about this whenever we're online together. But I got so extreme into it in the last couple months, and like Simon just called and checked up on me. He did checkups, and there was a cool thing about skin in the game. You know, I said it since the beginning. It's like I've given friends crypto. You know, here you go. You hold on to that. You figure that out. See, you know, if it appreciates, cool. You didn't put any money into it. Check it out. I went so extreme that I went on a diet in the last 2 months. I'm down like 7 pounds in 2 months. Now my food budget has cut in half. My fridge is stocked, you know, with
right?
everything that I want to do what I need to do in 2 months. So just that little change, that little switch, one thing opened up me eating well, having my energy, having another $150 a month that I get to spend on crypto or my friends or whatever I want to do. It's these little things that we get to help reinforce in each other. And I just love it. I love talking to you guys about it because you've reinforced it in me. I wouldn't be an investor without my father. Like I probably would not have gone on it yet or made it happen. Maybe I would have found crypto, but you know, it's so exciting to be a part of that. You know, for people who I get it. It's like I've spent so many years of my life check to check, or you know, thinking that I'm always at zero, or you know, there's too many bills to pay.
yeah.
And we, you know, we're really passionate about talking about that too. You know, it's not everybody get rich come bull run. It's have you done your math yet? Have you scienced it? All right, do you know how much you have? Do you know how much you might want to sell? Do you know how much you might want to keep? And at what price points? That's the whole thing. That's all I tell people now, guys. Have you done the math? Everybody's like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna liquidate, sell some crypto once this thing ramps up." And it's like, dude, I was there 4 years ago, and I lost my ass doing stuff like that. So think it out. Think from the end of what you are wanting, and backtrack. Make that plan. So,
amen, man.
So
and being the old man in the room, time doing what you want to do is the most valuable thing you can have.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
What do I feel like doing? Nothing. Perfect. Do that.
Go do it.
Go do it.
You know, that's Alan. I'm so glad you brought up the time thing, because that's what has actually. I got laid off. You know, like I said earlier in the show, man, there's a part of me that's like, dang, you know, money's going to be tight. Okay. But I get all my time back. I have the ability to be so flexible now with doing the things that I'm doing, building the things that I'm building, the teams that I'm a part of, even right here. It's like, thank you. That was great. Thanks for the money too. I appreciate that. Bye. Y'all have fun on Monday. Woo! You know, I mean,
yeah.
But it wasn't my first layoff was not like that. You know, my first layoff was right. I've grown since then, and I'm bringing this around with the time because I value my time. I finally got to the level where I value my time to where I'm going, is this worth my time and energy now? When I used to hear wealthy people say that, I was like, oh, what an asshole. You know, I mean, like, how could you even do that? What's wrong with you? You know, I mean, that was, hey, look, they value it. I don't. Of course, that's what's going to happen. But I got to the point where B-Man is right now, right? He did one thing, but that one thing helped him lose weight, stocked up his fridge, which, dude, that's awesome because psychologically you're like, I'm losing weight and my fridge is full. And I have $150 to go put to other things that I want or need. Winning off of one thing, dude.
One switch, and my energy's back.
And the energy's back.
Good.
Yeah,
Feel good about it.
Off of one thing. Imagine if you did too. Holy buckets, man! Boy, be on fire.
Yeah,
the time, Alan.
I have you to thank for that, Simon.
Well, you're welcome, man. I got your back. Anybody else who wants to play ball, I'm down for it. You know, but it is time. I want the time. I want the time to where Alan's like, Simon, bring your truck down here. I got the mechanic. He's available. Bring your truck down here. We're going to do your LS swap. Done. On the way. Here I come. Everything else I can do on the road. It doesn't matter. If I'm doing my day job, if I'm really committed into something that I'm trapped, I'm captive, I can't do that. It's like, no, I want to be able to do those things. I want my time back or have the ability to at least go, I can't hear, but I can hear. No questions asked, dude. I'm there. No problem. Done. To be able to say and do that is so valuable.
When opportunity knocks, it's never knocking at your 9-to-5 job. That's not where opportunity comes from, ever. You're just there with a bunch of other people going through the motions. It's not really when, I mean,
I get it. I've been there.
I mean, you can hear about some good ideas and some people, some entrepreneurs that are just trying to make a buck or trying to get like Simon. And for instance, the people that work with Simon are really blessed because his mind is on finance and getting out of this job that he's in, even though it's a great job.
Oh,
his mindset is, I don't want to do this forever. So that's
right. I don't.
Everyone around him. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a cool question real quick, guys. Shoot this one to Dad. Create 2116. Appreciate you having it. Appreciate you being in here. Send some love to David and Viking Cat as well. Can you custody your crypto through a trust?
Yes. Yes, you can. And it's it's advisable, actually, is what I would say. So, yeah, you definitely can. It's not complicated. You don't even have to take it off your own personal wallet. You just have to do a bill of sale, notarized bill of sale that says, yes, this wallet now belongs to the trust, no longer Alan. And it's that simple because you want to take it out of your name and you want to put it in the trust name because you don't want to own anything and you want to control everything. It's pretty much that simple. And if I'm not mistaken, he lives in or she lives in New York. So you have different situations going on over there. The one thing I have to say about trust that a lot of people are missing, they think it's just a tax haven. No, it's bigger than that. It's really more important in my mind is if you have a side hustle or non-W-2 income, which I think everybody in crypto is about to go through that over the next couple of years, whether it be DEXs or whatever we come up with, okay, liquidity of some sort. That is big. But the other biggest thing is, I'm going to use an American term. If you want to be free again, free from the burden of your assets. And don't think that they don't have a burden to them. Billionaires understand that money, everybody's coming after it. And they're going to go through you to get it. So all of the assets in your life, if they're not yours, you only control them. They can't take them from you because you don't own them. Pretty much that simple. So it's bigger than taxation. It's how to become free, how to be a free citizen living in your country. It's freedom. Yeah. Financial freedom, which is what we're all looking for.
Yes, we are.
So even if Trump passes, no capital gains. Oh, well, I don't need a trust now. Well, depends on how many assets and how many properties and how many things you have, but it does lessen the need of it for a lot of people, but it's not the other two primary reasons that you want a trust?
You know, I don't know about your state, but in my state, if someone breaks into your home and you kill them or they get injured, even worse, oh, they can sue you. And I
know. Yeah,
there's laws that go for like, excuse me,
and I don't know
my home,
right?
What am I supposed to call the cops?
There's no such thing as a car accident anymore.
It's collision.
Yeah,
found that out. My last one. It's called collision. Accident implies nobody was at fault. No,
right.
There's always somebody at fault. They'll find somebody.
And the guy with the most money next to his name is the guy who's at fault.
Yeah.
Period.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They will
not him.
It's
the second person that has the most money. How much you got? 100,000. How much you got? 100,000. $1. All right, we're going with Bob. Mike, you stay there. Don't move. You can get out of here. Go ahead. You know.
The insurance company is like, oh boy, they were involved in a collision. Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
That's gonna cost you lots of money.
Yeah. The lawyers definitely are what do they call it? Ambulance chasers. But I mean, they're good at what they do. You know, but yeah, that's a thing here in my state. So I am not trying to be sued over someone's greed or whatever need or whatever. No way. No, not going to happen. So
because the attorney, needs a new Porsche. Yeah,
right. I know a guy. I'll send it away. There you go. That's a good question. That's a great question.
Let's get Denise in here. Hi, Denise. Does anybody know if Nexus Trust can be paid by XRP?
Yes, it can. And I'm not even going to say, I'm not going to use the word paid. I'm going to use the word, you literally can transfer from your wallet to their wallet. It's that simple.
Yeah, I have a question on that. Do we get the appreciation price?
Of course.
So, perfect. So if I send $2.50 worth of XRP, but I say you cannot do this transaction until XRP hits $5 US, then I can send them that equivalent, and then I get my trust then.
No, can't do that.
Darn. See, guys, creative mind. That's where you should be at. You should be looking, okay, I got this asset. I want the trust, but do I have to give up all the XRP right now? Can I give you less later? Right? That's where you guys' mind should be.
A lot of people too are really kind of hung up on this, and I understand why, because XRP is going to has made its move, and it's going to make a better move. We all believe. So they don't want to sell their coins right now, and I get that, and that makes a lot of sense. But where I'm talking about with this whole thing is, once you have that sound of mind, I guess, is what I'm looking for. Once you have that in place, you can always buy more crypto. You don't you have a new place to store it, right? You have a whole new refresh on how finances work, on how your life works, how you can run your whole life through this thing. And it changes who you instantly become very, very financially skilled, is what this thing does for people. You go from being just a crypto skeptic or investor to a knowledgeable investor who's creating a foundation of network that can't be played with. And you grow and you learn how to use it. And the more I hear about people that have had them and use them, and the way they've used them, is how I'm learning the most right now. You mean you can do that? You mean you can do that? You can do this? Yeah, you can do this. You can buy that. You can buy more of this. All of that is living your life through it is what billionaires have known forever. And it's time, you learned it. It's a good investment, But like Simon was saying, he's not in the position of needing one right now. And when you get on a phone call with me, I'll be the first person to tell you, you don't need one yet. I'm not the Mr. Sales guy who's going to tell you, oh, dude, you should get 3 of those, one for each kid.
Yeah, come on down, Jim. We got our old clunker for you. Yeah, bring it on in here. We'll make sure she's secure and safe. Don't worry. That mold on the interior, it's going to stay just like that. Pristine.
Sell every crypto you got to buy this thing. No. Why would you do that? No, we're not doing that.
No.
Yeah, Simon's not in the place of needing a trust yet. He's in the place of asking questions about leveraged payments.
Yeah, can I leverage payments? Because I'm in a whole other area, and that's if I come across anybody that's currently in my situation, or even a B-man situation for sure. Yeah. I know Money Paradise. I've had multiple conversations with Money P, and I'm gonna go. You should really look at the infinite banking concept. It's a great tool to where you're in. Like, I found myself in this position of, okay, I could do the trust, but maybe I take out a loan from my infinite banking concept policy, right? Leveraging payments. That's what brought this up.
Yeah.
I go get the trust. It's in play. Everything's over there. Mentally, I'm good. Okay. I'm all right. Cool. That's out of my hands now, as far as obligations and lawsuits and whatever. I can pay back the loan personally if I want to, or even I could maybe don't know how it really works, but my thought process is, well, what if I created a loan document that the trust has an obligation to pay that back because of its creation? Is that something I can do? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But those are things I'm looking into. But the infinite banking concept, having the dividend paying whole life insurance policy, man, I would say, I would say you need one at some point in your life. Like, it's been very beneficial. It's been very beneficial. I wish I had it first, in my wealth building tool arsenal. Yeah, there's the book, baby. Look at all this stickiness.
This is next.
Heck step. Yeah.
For anybody new to our channel, there it is. Anybody new to the channel, these two gentlemen to my right have done, I believe, 17 episodes, just breaking down the concepts of what Simon's talking about. And
it's pivotal. It's pivotal, man. I can't wait for you to do it. B-man, I look forward to the day when you do it and you're like, dude, this is so epic. It's just part of that journey, man. It's just I love that, man. But I would say, yeah, it's a great tool to have, and nobody knows you have it. A great tool to have, and nobody knows you have it, and that's a great thing.
Yeah. I want to answer a couple of these questions real quick.
Answer them, dude. Answer them. I'm just.
Where's the best place to learn about? He was talking about different ways to use a trust. This coming Thursday night, my live stream is going to be exactly about that. I meant last week's to be about that, and I got on a tangent and went somewhere else. So let's just call that what it is. Simon was just talking about this. Now, Becky, the thing about that loan is that's going to run you 7-8% interest, I'd say, for a private loan today, personal loan. However,
compounding.
Yeah, compounding, correct. However, the beautiful part about doing that, if that's your only avenue, is your assets are probably going to go up, in particular, since I know you have XRP, are going to go up more than 7 or 8% annually. So in that sense, it's not the end of the world to do something like that. But also, if you're going to sell a massive amount of crypto, $100,000 or more, it would more than pay that loan back off quickly. So you're going to save that. So that's a play. I don't know that that's exactly the one I would go with. Personal loans are pricey and complicated.
Hey, I would say look into it. Run the numbers. Like, that's something that we don't. I know I don't do. I'm not going to say we don't do. Everybody that I know and talk to, we just sign the dotted line. We don't read what we're agreeing to. Run the numbers. See if that's a play, and then go, okay, can I find a better deal? Go find that better deal. It is so, at first, it's a pain in the butt. But there comes along some appreciation, and you get excited.
That's right. Yeah. There was a tricky question here, and honestly, I don't have an answer for it. Somebody was saying, is there an alternative to Caleb and Brown? Because they live in New York, I guess. I don't know what's the matter with New York. I really don't. But
there is.
But see, I have some news coming up about Caleb and Brown. I was talking to James a couple of weeks ago now. Mm-hmm. He said they're going to open a branch in Chicago.
Yes.
A physical location in Chicago.
Yes, they have.
I don't know that is not going to change the world as far as access for New York. I would imagine it would. I'm guessing. Yeah. That with the new with the new Congress that we have everything else going on. I really think that case against Ripple is going to be dropped. I'm going to call it. I don't know if you guys saw Hogan's little interview he did. That
Jeremy Hogan?
Yeah, Jeremy Hogan.
The lawyer?
Yeah.
Hogan, the lawyer? Yeah,
he did a great interview. I don't even know whose show it was on. Somebody sent it to me. I watched it. It was only 10 minutes long, and I was like, wow, that was his perspective is they're going to drop this case because basically there was no fraud. There was no fraud, and there were no victims. So with this new Congress and everything else, it's like, well, why are we wasting taxpaying money for this? What are we doing? Nobody lost anything. In fact, people have 5x their money here recently. What are we doing? So we have better things to do. Yeah, that's one of the things that I think is coming.
Yes, I think so too. I look forward to watching that video now. I got something to watch tonight. I'm excited. Sorry, just looked down at my phone. Our buddy Jarrett Vick is ringing me. Sorry, buddy, you're gonna have to wait till after the live. Back to the Caleb and Brown issue. I think it was for Viking Cat. Says the New York regulators are the problem. A suggestion of a look-see, maybe incorporating an LLC in a different jurisdiction, and then submitting those documents to Caleb and Brown that way might be advantageous of you, just to see if it's doable. But there's another one that was mentioned. Do you guys remember back in our Bitcoin Ben days? There was another over the counter. I swear they were based in California, actually. I can't remember not remember off the top of my head, but there is another one. And I looked into them, but I was already committed to really Caleb and Brown. I kind of like the white glove service that I received there. But there are other over the counter participants. I don't remember their limits. That was kind of the big. That's probably been the big problem with us, individuals from Main Street, right? Is the cap? Hey, you have to participate with $50,000. Yeah. At the time when I got involved with Caleb and Brown, it was $2,000. But my research showed the lowest one I could find to participate with over the counter was $50,000. Aside from Brown at $2,000, so I was like, well, that's a no-brainer. That's where I'm going. They're offering a sweet deal. These guys are undercutting the market. Well played. I like you. You're going to bat for the little guy because you see where the real money is, per se. Not that that's not real money, but you have far more clients for long term, and you're going for the lows, and I like that. So now it's only $500 to do Caleb and Brown if you're able to. But sorry, right. I'm brain farting on that name for that other over the counter exchange. I don't even know if they're still around, but I know there are a few, and maybe Joanna.
What is it? Isn't there? What's the other one? Oh, I know. You're thinking of Exodus wallet, aren't you? Or no?
No. There's over the counter. Wire the money to them. Tell them what. Tell them what.
Well, how about the one that's in UK that supported XIP through the law case? Uphold.
Yeah. Are they over the counter?
I need to look.
I mean, it's in New York. You can open an Uphold account, I think, can't they?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. New York is real finicky. Even when I was going through a lot of the beta tester signups earlier last year for the bot, there's a few New Yorkers that we had to be very strategic in getting them on board. Successful nonetheless, but I feel bad for my fellow New Yorkers out there. Not that I am from New York. I'm just saying, we American, we love you. You guys got some real navigating to do in that jurisdiction. It's been a big problem. But yeah, I think Uphold is there. I know there's Gemini. You can get an account of Gemini and at least get you some Bitcoin and some XRP there.
Because Gemini started in New York, didn't they?
Yes, yeah. The Winklevoss twins.
They started in New York, but I think they moved to Canada, didn't they? Or they moved? They branched out to
maybe
Canada.
Wyoming. I know there's a few exchanges that moved their corporation jurisdiction to Wyoming, and of course now Texas is another sought after place, and it sounds like the Panhandle of Florida might be another good go to as well. But NYS blocks Uphold. So there you go. Zips Tips is saying that New York State blocks Uphold. That's what he was told.
Of course.
Jake. Peaky is saying Mr. Claver has two other alternatives to Caleb and Brown, but he doesn't know the name. So there you go. There's look at that, man. I love this channel, dude. The crew always has the crew's back, man. I love it.
Swan was the one you were thinking of earlier, I think.
Swan is one. No, it's another one. It was specifically named
Swans and
Cali Bitcoin Ben event. But it's like US Bitcoin something or something. I cannot remember, man. That's gonna bug me now.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Swan's a good one.
Yeah,
New York's
I would suggest maybe not that it's maybe the way you want to go, but I don't know if you played around with VPNs. Just saying.
Or
you
can say deal.
You can say you live in Amsterdam.
Always do a private deal. There's lots of ways to do a private deal.
Yeah, that's right. And decentralized exchanges, I don't think are going anywhere. So I know that's not what they want, but I know it's what the people really need. So
yeah, a bit true.
That's right. Bit true. I forgot about that. And the I think you're thinking of Bitstamp, maybe, Simon. Cali, and that's been around since.
This is not a traditional exchange. This is a brokerage, man. You call up, you say I want this. They say wire us the money. You wire. It's a traditional over the counter brokerage. They're U.S. based out of California or Colorado, California. I can't remember which one it was, but like they came on the Bitcoin Ben show a while ago. We heard about them in Texas briefly. It's just an alternative. And I remember looking into them. I remember crunching their numbers on the fees. And at the time I was like, well, I'm getting a better deal over here. And, I'm customer number 905, like something like that. I'm like, the first one's in the door, man.
26.
They haven't even got me a t-shirt, bro. That's messed up. I want a t-shirt. It's all good.
Yeah, we'll wear it.
I'll talk to Susie. Susie's leading up their fun thing, which I thought that was real interesting, and I know that's part of the reason why they're doing the Chicago move, is so that they can do their fund, their crypto fund, where at the time she was saying it's like 25% per year is what they're looking at. I was like,
same numbers.
Yeah, I'm like that sounds like a great way to park some of my funds for just a short bit while I sit at the beach and do barbecue.
Well, I mean, those are the kind of the numbers that we were looking at on the what is it? Llama, right? Was 2.5% a month. Mm-hmm. So that's 25% annually right there. Yep. Pretty sweet.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Viking Cat, I would say yes. I think that would be a a great idea. It is for me because I like the trading. I like the DeFi, and if anything else, it's good for learning. Very much so. You try to day trade and lose, which by the way you'll lose. It just happens. It's part of the process. You're not going to win every day. The name of the game, in my opinion, and Alan, correct me because you're the seasoned vet on trading. You need more wins than losses to win. You need more wins than losses. Not numbers, overall percentages.
Yeah, percentages.
Yeah. Not I won today by 1 and I lost tomorrow by 3. That's not what I'm talking about.
Some strategies you only need a 10% hit rate. If when your winners run and you get 9 in a row that are small stop losses, and then your big winner runs. Yeah, that's a strategy. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's kind of you got to make more than you. That's kind of how it works. If you don't, you're a losing trader. I will say this about day trading. Have fun. If you're young and you want to learn a lot and you want to take your lumps for a long time, I'm just going to say this. The one thing about day trading for me is there's people really, really good at it that you're competing against. Really good at it. And if you're not on their trade, if you're against their trade, you're not going to do well. And if you're going to do what all the normies and everybody, on Robinhood is trading, you're not going to do well because the house is always, just like Vegas, the house always wins. So if you can't understand contrarian trading strategies, you are going to get crushed. You will. Because you're like, well, logically, it should go up today. Yeah.
Maybe.
You got to do a lot of research to have that information.
Right. This is what Simon and I were going to talk about today, but I've got to go. I got to roll. I've got two interviews in the next. I got 2 hour-long interviews. But
you mentioned interviews.
I'm doing. You guys can roll. I got to bail though. But when people try to understand mining of Bitcoin and crypto, and they say, well, I'll just buy it. It's easier for me. Understand that's a good play. DCA always is a great plan. It's way better than trading for most people. Most people have a busy life. Okay. But like Brent was saying earlier, if you could find the right meme coin, right, or whatever, but that's cool too. Well, what's going on right now is your nation states are buying Bitcoin. Mining companies are buying Bitcoin. They might. It's equivalent to a bakery buying bread down the street. They make it and they're buying it. So what I'm trying to say about that is, if you want to get into mining, great. That's probably not a bad play in the long run. But the short term, you better DCA in. You got to get that portfolio rolling because everybody's buying. And we only have a buy year ahead of us, truly.
Right?
Yep.
I got a text. Go ahead.
I've got to roll. I've got West Coast. I've got a 12 o'clock, but we got a few minutes. But
I was gonna say I got a text from our good friend the professor. He said, and he's right he found the company that I was trying to mention. It is Coin Trading Company. Coin Trading Company was the other one in California, and I remember them coming out of the Bitcoin Ben time in my journey. That's what professors. Thanks, Crypto Professor. I appreciate the reach out and the educating the brother and reminding him, hey man, it's this. You all right, man? You feeling okay? So thank you.
Love it.
B-Man, do you want to hang on for a little bit and chop it up? You want to keep going?
Yeah, let's chop. Let's chop.
Cool.
Everybody's still in here. Let's do it.
Okay, everybody. I have two interviews and a project that I've got to get done. Well, it's going to be a nice day today. So You two enjoy yourselves. Have a great time. Yeah. And I wish I could listen, but I got a couple of calls to make.
You can always watch the recording.
Love y'all, and I'll see you guys.
Take care, Alan.
Love you, Dad. He's out.
Trying to get out.
He's still here.
You got your keys?
Peace out, player.
Peace out, player.
What are we doing, everybody?
Good conversation, man. You know, onto the DCA, you know, that your dad was talking about there. Like, dude, that doesn't happen unless you really, well, I mean, it can happen. Mm-hmm. But where you can really hone just that strategy in is your budget, man. Like what you're doing. You got $150. It's like now you can DCA and you can scale from there. See, that's the cool part. I understood scale, like, oh, you make it bigger and bigger, or you scale up or scale down. Okay, I get that. But when you're scaling yourself, you're like, oh, this is great. When, you know, I used to always wonder why people would get so excited about the word scale. I'm like, God, this guy lights up like a Christmas. Oh, and you can scale from there. Oh, you can scale. How are you doing that? Well, you know, all of a sudden, you know, the interest just went from a 2 to a 20. you know, it's exciting.
And you know, you talk to the old timer investors and all the other things that have come before this, and the knock is always volatility, right? But you get into this market, and you know, we've had the kind of the privilege of very visible cycles, you know, that are, I'm not going to say predictable, because when you're in it, you're like right now is like, I have no, what's going to happen. There's all this great news and all this great adoption and all this stuff happening, but it's like, do we know if it's going to cycle back down or if it's going to, you know, we don't know. But
nope.
We've had that privilege of, you know, like the last bull run, we know a lot of people who have retired already from investing in this stuff. And so that's where, like, I saw in the comments today too, where there's some of us that are just like, man, I'm not selling. I'm not selling. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where I'm personally falling into, because like what we're bringing up is saving, and that, okay, I love, like, it XRP at, what are we at, like 230?
238.50.
I love that price. I'm buying that. I'm buying that all day long. Like I've been saying that on the show for a while now, since we got into XRP. You know, yes, it could cycle back down, and of course, but I like that price because I'm willing to hang on for the long term. And that is dollar cost averaging. That is how we all have bags. You know, it's, you gotta ride the roller coaster. You gotta jump back on the wave at some point. Whatever it is that you want to invest in.
Yeah, most definitely.
It away.
Most definitely. You know, and that's I'm glad you're sharing that actually with us. You know, the point to where you're saying I'm leaning towards, you know, going long term, right? Which means you're discovering, A, you're down for long term. B, you have determined kind of your first initial long term check mark is. You know, maybe that's the next bull cycle. Maybe that's 2 years. Maybe that's 10 years, right? And because you're doing that, you're now again going, well, since I'm going long term, is $2.38 a great price for XRP? Yeah. Yes, it is. Right.
Cheap.
So, and I've done this, and I actually asked this question on the Dipito show a little while ago, because it was ladies' night tonight. I wasn't able to come on, but I was able to write a question in the comments. And my question was, how much are you willing to pay for XRP? You know, and they're kind of like, ooh, that's a tough one. It's like, and I knew there would be some reaction there, but I was really trying to get at, it's like, well, no, where's your threshold of, I will stop buying XRP at this price right now? You know, for me, that might be $10.
Yeah.
You know, Like I'm like, $10. I'm like, no, because there might be another opportunity of equal value in another sector that's
Right.
$5, right? For me, it's like, well, I'm taking my money, put it in investment, so my money can grow, or what I'd rather like to say is my purchasing power maintains or increases over time, right? And that's the deflationary part that is mentioned on this show. You mentioned today, it's deflationary. It's like, well, yes, yeah, because it takes more dollars to get this one thing, and now you have to use less of that one thing to get all the things you want. Ta-da! Deflationary. Increases purchasing power. More dollars go into the thing. Well, now you got more dollars, and now your purchasing power increases very fast, arguably compared to other investments. But just that part right there really helps hone in to what you're willing to do. And I'm like a 50-50 because of what I'm trying to do in my path. I'm down for the long term, but I'm also down for the short term. I've seen value in both. But for me, because of my instability with cash flow, I am put in a position where I have to make these necessary moves for me, but probably not necessary for someone that might be at a W-2 salary position, right? If you're getting a guaranteed check and you show up every day, it's like, hey, your job might not be awesome, which is fine, but you got a guaranteed check there, and now you know your parameters, you can work with that. So long term might be okay for you. You're like, okay, long term, can I be at this job for another 2 years? How's the business doing? Am I going to have a disruption? It doesn't look like it. Okay, I'll keep going. Disruption happens. Okay, hard stop. I don't do this play anymore. I have to reconfigure things. Once you reconfigure, you can re-implement that plan. But for me, it's like I'm kind of going all in on a lot of things in order to build up that bag. I've calculated my taxes or expenses. I've calculated that all out because I have to know that. It wasn't fun, but it is fun now. Now that I know, I'm like, oh, we're fine. No, take that. I'm not doing that. Or yes, I am doing that. Don't worry about that. We'll take care of that later. It's good. I got the numbers. Let's keep the party. Let's keep the party going. Because I don't know when is this run going to end. Historically, I can pick out about 2 months of the year that more than likely happens, and it even happens on a very micro level. It'll happen. But the last leg of this bull run that we've been in since the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, when it really started, we're kind of hitting the tail end. So now I'm thinking about the nice correction that we've seen over time, over the history of this market, where there's some good, healthy pullbacks. And I'm now planning for that. That's my long term, is where's my next play down the road, not how long am I going to hold on to this. I'm going to get more of these assets here for sure. What am I going to do with them? I don't know yet, but I commit to getting them. And I commit to being open to multiple different opportunities that are there and that may present themselves that I don't know. And that's the thought process. And once you got that up here and you're just like, yeah, I like this. This is a solid, good plan. I've committed to doing a thing, but I'm not limiting myself to a direction. I'm being open to that direction. That just doesn't mean I have to take it. But it means I get to if I want to. And having that perspective, man, B-man, and you got that perspective, dude. It's so, dude, it just makes me smile, man. When we got off the phone the last time and talked to the wife, I'm like, oh, dude, B-man is crushing it in his own way. He's crushing this thing right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I bet you he's gonna fly. And dude, you're already there, man. It's so cool.
I'm trying, guys. It's been a very challenging couple of financial years for me. Very challenging. I had to leverage pretty much everything I had to move back home, which was a great decision because now I have a business that I love and I've got a job that I love and I'm with my best friends, and that's all valuable to me, right? Cool. I love what you're talking about. you know, you can do it with the very same thing. You take your XRP and okay, I'm done buying it here at $10. But when we get that healthy correction, you know, when it comes back, it's like, what's okay? Simon's saying like, what's my new point there? Okay.
Yeah.
When am I happy with? Okay, we're going for the next long-term goal here. And so just breaking that up, and yeah, you've been such a wealth. And because of that flux in our lives with our jobs and what's been going on, we've had to really scramble, you know, and really start to reinforce it. And so you filling me up with those tools and nuggets that you've been given through other writers and other people and yourself.
Yeah.
It's been gold to me.
Good, man. I'm glad you're picking up the tools and putting them to work, man.
Yeah.
You know, because it takes action. You know, even like John said in the comments there, John Corson says, Diamond Hands isn't exactly easy, but did it. Congratulations, John. That's taking action. You know,
get it, John.
My dad used to have the saying. He only said it a couple of times, but do you remember the No Fear shirts back in the day?
Oh yeah.
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 So I had one of those on. He's kind of teasing me in his own way about it. He goes, I'm going to make a shirt, but it's going to be for adults. It's going to say scared shitless, but we do it anyways. And I was like, oh, that's great. That so applies more to my life now than it ever has, you know, but it's true. You know, Diamond Hands ain't easy. No, you're right. Diamond Hands aren't easy, but you did it. And you might have gone through the mud and the muck, you know, to get that diamonds. Traditionally, you kind of do when you have to mine diamonds. You got to go through the mud and the muck, but you come out and you got something very precious, very nice. It's literally tough as nails. It can cut glass, you know. I mean, it can do so many more things, and I think that's what really this is all about. You mentioned you and I have had to scramble. I think that's a theme that's really going to be part of our generation and the generations behind us. Even with the online business opportunities that there are out there now and that will be out there tomorrow, you know, for entrepreneurs. Still, I don't think you're going to be into one thing for long. You're going to pivot. And it's almost going to be I can see it almost like a trending thing. Like you'll be in something that's trending, that's good, and then it kind of flatlines. And then you'll pivot to something else that not the next trend, but the one thereafter. And I can see us doing this back and forth like a garden. Hey, these are ripe for picking right now. We're gonna go get that. Boom. I'm gonna make this, slang that, and then I'm gonna go do the other thing. And that's just farming. We're gonna be like, ooh, you might be into another thing. And I also do deliveries, and I do this, and I do that. I think it's gonna be a kind of a hodgepodge of things that we're gonna be into. And that's something that I've noticed now that I just didn't notice in my financial literacy, in my study of entrepreneurs. If you really listen to them, they say it, but they don't go into detail. And they always say, I've started X amount of companies, right? They always say that. And it's like, what does that really mean? It means they literally juggled. They went from here, they started, they got a little cash. Nope, it didn't work out. They went on to the next thing. Or maybe it did work out. And then, I mean, that was it. It was kind of a one and done kind of a thing. Okay. Yep. Nope. I'm moving on to other things. I'm doing this now. I'm making money here. Cool. That's kind of off and rolling. Hopefully that boat stays afloat.
Right.
I'm going to go start this, right? And that's what they do. And what they're really doing is building that wheel of wealth. We talk about sometimes, you and I, about asset collection. I mentioned it on this show. I'm in the asset collection business, per se, right? But that's just me personally, because I see the value. That's part of the, the wheel of wealth. The more assets or the more streams I have coming to me, if something falls off, breaks, or goes away, I'm not impacted as hard. Like with my W-2 job, hey, Simon, we're not building any more buildings around here for the next 3 months. You got to go. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, but the writing's on the wall. Hey, man, this is a 52-story building. We're on floor 51. Oh, crap.
Hello.
So we're going to get laid off. You know, it'd be like you're a fisherman. Catch all the fish. Oh, we're headed back? Okay. I mean,
Yeah, we don't have any more ice. You know,
we're out of ice and we got to head back. It's like, okay, well, I guess we're chilling for a week. Oh, dang, what am I going to do? You know, anything like that. But I can see us bouncing around.
You've spoken a lot today about vision and how to create it, you know, and this is the fear topic is so good. I totally agree, Joanna. Feel the fear and do it anyways.
That's right.
I'm starting to find in my life again. Like I thought I'd really insulated and I'd really been Simon-like and I really got all these things kind of okay. Now I can start to branch back out and do these other things and, you know, work on my show more and try to get to do this. And that fear found me again in taking those big steps. And, you know, being vulnerable to it and, you know, trusting it with other people and all these different things in all manners of life. But like, even if you fail at those things, I smash my brain, everybody. Even if you,
yeah, dude, that's a good topic, man. When you fail,
winners fail and get up. That's what winners are, and that's it. It's just like, oh man, I get to feel this fear right now. I'm actually putting myself out there, and you know, investing in something that I'm interested in, whatever it is, dude. I cannot be afraid to fail at this. And if you're really afraid, well, research it more, work on it harder, get into it, be about it.
Yeah, you know that's
it's such a good. It's so fun. It's so fun.
It is. It scares shitless, but we do it anyways. You know, feeling the fear and letting it ride. Because I mean, you know, you take anything that's kind of maybe reckless sport. Skateboarding, riding a bike, surfing, any of those things. Like, is Jaws going to come up and get me? Maybe. So, but if it doesn't today, then you know, then you're good. That's not going to stop you getting on a surfboard. Might stop you from going surfing that day, but it's not going to stop you trying to get up on a surfboard because you want to do that. You know, but the one of the things that I've learned recently was whatever your fail was, or a hardship in your life, in reality, appreciate that, because that's your greatest teacher. The hardest lessons that you've learned are, you know, or things that you've gone through in your life, whether life threw that at you or you created it, those are your greatest teaching moments. That's your best teacher, because it showed you who you are in the worst kind of way.
Yeah.
Right. Or what other people are when you thought that they were something different. Hey, what did you miss? You know, you did a good business deal. Hey, we're doing real good. We like each other. Great. No conflict. So we're not going to really learn that other side of each other yet. You know, maybe there is conflict, but you can still continue to grow from it. Cool. But the ones that don't work out really teach you about those individuals and some of the characteristics, and vice versa. They really teach you about yourself. Well, what did I do? How did I participate in this friction? You know, and you're not trying to fix it. That's a kind of a water in the bridge, you know, part ways kind of a thing, right? But you get to take that knowledge and apply it into your next venture. Just crypto, example. Great example, by the way. You shared with us today that you were sharing with your life experience with your buddies that are trading, and you're like, dude, do you have a number? Have you done the math? Because you're telling them, hey, I didn't do the math last time, and guess where I'm at right now?
Yeah, scrambling.
You guys don't think you're going to be where I'm at, and I'm not saying you are, but you got a real good shot, because you're not saying you're going to liquidate and do what with your blah, 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 blah. You're not doing the math, bro. And you're not making good with the math of like, no, I'm out here. Why? Because that's my number. For what? For what I want to do. Well, what is that? It's none of your business. What do you mean it's none of my business? I thought we were friends, man.
Right.
But that's it. They're not doing that calculation. I went through that. I had great ideas. I'd show you my notebook paper. I had great ideas on notebook paper. But they're ideas. There's no plan of action. There's not, hey, look this up today. There's no plan of action. There's just ideas on paper. And those ideas were things that I was going to look into. But when the tide came in and all the boats rise, I was so fixated on all the boats going up and wow, look at the water level. Hey, are you going to fish today or
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my pole. That's what happened in my mind on,
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
Calm, cool, and collected. But there was just moments that I went through this major endorphin rush. I couldn't believe it. I talk about the Santa Claus effect today. Santa's real. Oh, no, he's not. 30 years later, a sleigh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like,
yeah.
It's real.
It's real. Yeah, like the M&M commercial.
I love that analogy.
It does exist. They do exist. It's that moment. it's that moment that we where we're not taking action, and you're trying to encourage people to take action because you got to. You really have to. And your path is different than mine. Mine is different than yours. But we are both building wealth, both trying to enrich our lives in so many different ways.
What's the scariest part of riding a roller coaster, Simon? It's waiting in line.
Sitting in the back.
Sitting in the back too, but
yeah. Okay. Here's
it's the anticipation. It's the buildup.
It's the anticipation.
The horror that you put yourself through.
Yeah, the going up, and you realize how high you are, and then you hear later when that old wood roller coaster was built, you're like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
And it's out in the sun all day, no water. Ooh, those things don't hit you till your adulthood. As a teenager, you're like, "Oh, this is great," but even then, you're like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." Yeah, it's the anticipation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that eats you. It eats you alive. And then by the time you get off, you're at the bottom. You're like, "Whoa, that was crazy!" But your hands are still. You're like, "Give me the soda."
You've got all the energy from all of it.
Yeah.
And like that energy that we all have to bring it back to what we're doing is like, we got to keep that momentum going. Like so many people, comment in our chat, Simon, just about different projects. And they're like, well, what about this? Like, are you like Zip today was like, are you, minting Flare? And it was like, are you on, what was it? I just forget the name, Songbird. Like, are you doing that? And it's like, no, but the more I, look into Flare, the more I want to put this momentum into that because I see that project being so awesome and being a pillar for XRP. And it's like, okay, like I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited about it. This is, do I have the money to invest in it? Okay, maybe not. Okay, but when I do and start to do that preparation, there was something I wanted to ask you about in our last conversation. Sure. And it was I feel like I made a point of it with you too, is like the process of vetting something. Not just I'm going to go vet something and I'm going to go see if this project is good or not. And you might go on the internet, you might, look at their website and okay, cool. But what is real vetting like in crypto, for crypto investing and for other things like that you were telling me about, like you were giving me kind of a access point to get in with a group that like an investment group that you get a lot of knowledge from. Can you give us some stuff on just your process? Like where's your mind on a new
thing? So vetting, and I know there's a quite a few people in there. I know Hoofty, Peaky. By the way, Peaky, that was funny. Yeah, sorry, Peaky. Apparently, well, I don't know now, Peaky. I'm telling you, I saw a sleigh with 8 tiny reindeer. I'm back. I'm back on the other side of the coin when I was.
Welcome in, Hoofty.
Yeah, yeah.
Love you.
My process now for me, and it's kind of funny. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. How the rich get richer. This book really kind of emphasized on this, and my process is: do I like what I hear? Okay, cool. Now let's go to the community if I find anybody and just see how they're talking. That took me a little while. So be a part of the community, meaning, hey, just join. Read their comments. Is someone blowing smoke? Do I feel like I'm talking to sorry, youngsters out there? Am I talking to a 20-something that just doesn't have a lot of life experience like I do, but I don't have a lot of tech experience like they do? Like, is that what I'm hitting? Because maybe they're missing something. After that, it's really a matter of I'm going to pick up and run the ball. I pick up the ball and I start throwing it in the backyard. Like with Flair, if I was going to do that, I would find out, how do I do it? Right? What wallets do I got to get? Is it cool on my phone? Do I do it on my computer? Right? These are all like small, quick decisions that, it works here. Click here. Okay, now I can do this. Click, 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 click. Like, it's like, hey, slow down just half a tick and go, okay, I can download it here. Do I want it there? Like, am I there all the time? No. What's my fear? I want to get out as fast as possible. Okay, great. So maybe you're able to do it on your phone. And then I always go with the minimum. What's the minimum I have to do so I can learn this thing? What's the minimum? What's the minimum? What's the minimum? Because I am committing, the asset that I like, which means I took money, time, energy equals dollars in my world still. And I put it into an asset. And now I'm going to put this asset over here to theoretically give me different types of assets that I might be able to use. So I'm going to see how it works even before now. What can I do with it? I mean, other people might say, oh, you could do this, or, oh, you could that. It's like, okay, cool. That's for me, dude. I am a hype junkie sometimes. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. I fall in love with the idea. I fall in love with the vision, right? I swear sometimes that vision is the demon itself. I know, right? Yeah, I've been there, right? Like, okay, cool. Love the hype. I'm glad people are excited about it. That means community will be strong. XRP army / family. No, there's no other coin on this world. One coin to rule them all. That really wasn't the attitude, but from my perspective, that's what it was. It's like, nah, dude, we are lock in hand. We ain't going nowhere. That was the sentiment I got. So I looked for that quality in other, and other coins now. So when, Mr. Zips, by the way, Zips, love you, brother. When he's talking about Flair, are you doing this? Great. There's someone within this community of the crew that if I started going down that route, I could reach out, which is something else I look forward to. If I'm the first one out of the gate, I go, okay, I'm going to screw this up. So again, what's the minimum that I have to participate with? Even like you were talking about yourself, you're going, how much money do I have? Okay. To commit to this. Maybe when I get dollars, like, no, you should try now. Spend $10, $20 today to see if you can participate today, because you're going to find out if this was a good thing, bad thing. Because what I have done in my past is I have gone all in, so to speak, on a few different things. And later I found out this is not a good thing. And I stayed because of fear of losing everything, which ultimately what happened was because I was scared, I stayed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I was like, no, I'm just being scared to stay in. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. The vision, right? I like the vision. The vision's great, but I need to see if that vision is being worked out in real time. Are we still moving that ball a yard at a time, an inch at a time to that first down? We got a first down. Cool. We get another 4 tries. Boom, 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 boom. That's kind of my process now. I really will just try to find the best way to pick up the ball at a very small level to see if I like it, Does it work with my lifestyle? Is this something I'm going to be participating in? A great example of this, I mean, and this is kind of the topic we're talking about, and that's DeFi.
Yeah,
I've been in DeFi at random different times, but I had to sit there and watch it, right? Because I didn't want to lose, right? I wanted to be out of the door. That was my big concern. Can I get out as fast as possible? How do I do that? Right. That was one of the first things I look for is how do I get out? Well, the only way to figure that out is play your minimums, figure out how fast you can get out. If you like what you see and you can get out fast, great. Then I'll throw in a little bit more coin that way, and I still watch it. But if I don't feel like I have the time to watch something, I will actually just exit. Because my attention is not there. And if my attention is not on my investment, by the way, Rich Man of Babylon calls your gold, well, they call them your slaves. I would say employees, same relation. But that money is working for you. So if you're not paying attention to they're in a good, safe environment that you're okay with, and you lose sight of 1 second, boom, they could all be gone. And that's not what you want. So for me, even with DeFi, I'm watching. I'm usually in just like one play, unless another one has just really earned my confidence of like, nope, this is still good. Nope, this is still good. Have I done more research or looked at more news on this protocol that I'm in? Have I done that? Nope. Okay, well, let's go find some more news. Where do we go? Community. All right, community's hype. I need the negative. Who's talking crap about this? Who's saying, hey, look out for what? Luke. You know what? I don't think I have. Because I would have remembered that, Luke. I need to check that out. Thank you, Luke, for bringing that up.
Good to see you, Luke.
Yeah,
good to see you, in the house. We were talking about you,
bro. Good. Anyways, I say all that that's kind of my process is, do I like what I hear? Yes. Okay. That means I at least have some part of the vision. Checkbox number 2 is, how do I do it? Checkbox number 3 is, can I do it? Maybe this app's only for iPhone. Maybe this app's better on the computer. So that's my how. And then it's, what are the minimums? Just four simple generic rules. After that, I based off market conditions. Yeah, go ahead, brother. I based it off market conditions, and to see if that's Simon. Can you explain DeFi and TradeFi, please? Okay, so decentralized finance is a broader term for different protocols where you can contribute your digital assets into different types of protocols, and you can earn a yield off that. And Luke, please jump in here and correct me, because I know you're versed as well as anybody else in the chat. DeFi, you can take your assets and you could stake them. Okay, so you're taking them out of circulation, supporting the network, and the network will pay you a little scratch, typically in that native token. You can participate in AMMs, and you are rewarded for contributing to basically a liquidity pool. So a trading pair. An example of this would be, let's say I want to participate in providing liquidity, the asset, to an exchange. So I'm basically now, in a roundabout way, I'm lending my asset to the exchange, but it's not traditional lending, so to speak. Okay. But I'm taking that asset XRP, and I'm putting in a liquidity pool for a trading pair. An example of a trading pair is XRP/USD. Let's just say, okay, dollars. So since I'm doing that, the exchange pays me in the exchange's native coin, right? So now I got a new asset in my possession now. And now I need to see how much that asset is worth, because I'm being paid in their native token. I have to see how it's going. So maybe something like Sui or Pancake Swap, or there's so many different other decentralized.
Yeah, Hoofty's saying Uniswap and Sushi Swap are his.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Right. And those coins, those native coins are doing well. Why? Because people are doing DeFi. So that native coin is going to stick around. It's really good for the community. Hey man, to stay on board with that. And I don't know how that really works on the back end as far as how, are people buying that because hey, I need Sushi Swap, and maybe you need that to participate there in other types of liquidity pools. Now, what was the other one there? I saw it was TradeFi. That is a term that I'm actually not familiar with. Miss Becky. I do well. I mean, I guess and I'm not going to. I guess I could speculate. Trade finance is you're providing the coin to be traded on an exchange, and you get a little kickback. But I'm speculating. Okay, I do actually not know the definition for TradeFi. TradeFi. Let's go look that up. I mean, I got a minute, maybe. I like new words.
Right?
Hoopty, do you know? Traditional finance. Traditional finance would be the protocols that we have right now, where maybe you do private lending. Maybe you use your real dollars and you provide them to a dollar liquidity pool or lending protocol. Here's a great example of traditional finance, and it's been around for 150 years and more. You go out and go get from a participating whole life insurance company, you go out and buy a dividend paying whole life insurance policy. You have a contract, and now you're going to pay the insurance company based on the agreement of that contract. Okay. You're giving the insurance company money, and they're going to lend out that money or invest that money into different sectors. One of the ways insurance companies lend out money is they will actually, a bank will come to them and say, hey, insurance company, we would like to offer you this 8% bond over the course of 5 years for X amount of dollars. The insurance company will, okay, that's great. We like that, but we want to be the first one paid before anybody else that you have agreements with, and then we'll give you the money. Okay, great, cool. We'll put it in a contract. That's traditional finance in that type of sense, right? A third party is doing that for you to meet your death benefit that you signed up for. So that's one way traditional finance could be.
That's a great example.
Yeah, Swift system, bonds, etc. Yes, Hoopty, well said. Exactly.
Yep.
Thank you, Christy. Yeah, Seymour, thank you very much. Yeah, traditional finance. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. I thought that was a new crypto term. I was like, oh, this is cool. I don't know what that is. Of course, I don't know what that is. I'm in crypto. We don't do traditional finance.
Right? Yeah. What's crypto headed for right now, everybody?
Exactly. Your RLUSD.
It's coming to a theater near you, bonds market.
RLUSD has done some tokenization of U.S. Treasury bonds. XDC has tokenized some U.S. Treasury U.S. Treasury notes. It's there. You put your money in a bank lends out the money several times. Investors bet on whether it's not a debt or then lent money paid back to you. Yeah, would you mind putting Hoofty's explanation on there? There you go, Miss Becky, right there. Now, Hoofty, I'm not going to question if you got that off of ChatGPT or not.
No,
you,
not him, man.
Yeah,
no way.
Yeah, no, Hoofty's
right
good.
Here.
Yeah, that's right.
Leveraging. That was the one of the instabilities in the last horrible bubble that has happened in finance was leveraging. Bank lends out more than they have.
Luke Scott, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Simon.
Luke had trade finance, if that's what Becky was really referring to, but I don't think so. But Luke said TradeFi is the movement of goods and services around the world. XDC settlements. Facts. Thank you. I thought there was a switch there, but Becky was corrected. Traditional finance was what she was looking for. Stacking server. Banks are no longer required to keep any cash on hand. Yeah.
They can lend out 100%. They often put
All
a fair
digital.
amount in bonds. That's why they're in big trouble right now. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
What are you all hearing about supply right now in these exchanges? Because I feel like I'm getting the gamut here of, oh my God, the sky's falling. None of us are going to be able to liquidate. Even this last week, I want to say, wasn't it Binance locked up XRP?
I know Coinbase did.
Coinbase did as well.
I was watching the price, and then they said an error had occurred. Some trades and balances might be inaccurate. Now I know also that Coinbase on their advanced platform, so their professional trading platform, they have switched their APIs over to a cloud-based API, so they could be experiencing some stuff. And I'm not giving them a scapegoat either. I'm just saying it's possible that kind of influx happened, because when you see price pumps, in my personal opinion, that is a coordinated effort, and I'll leave it at that. And since if it's a coordinated effort and they're not just using one big old fat bag, it's one big fat bag that goes to, tens of thousands different accounts within the place, within the exchanges or something like that at a global level. Yeah, you're going to have a network issue on these exchanges, and it doesn't, it's kind of interesting when you have you have one exchange and then they have servers all around the world, right? That connect somehow somewhere, right? Is it centralized? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But if one server goes down and those servers are connected in some type of way, information based, well, yeah, there's an error. It's a hard stop. So there you go. To answer your question though about supply, I think a good source would be to maybe reach out to the brokers. Those would be like Caleb and Brown. You could also maybe, I know they're only required to keep 10%. Okay. Sorry, I thought there was a comment there. I know that reaching out to the miners is another way, is in regards to Bitcoin specifically, and noting those major miners and how much they're actually liquidating. On the small side, the me and you miners, we're not going to know that unless that is advertised. Hey, I'm this little miner. Here's my wallet, etc. I do think supply is an issue. Specifically to Bitcoin. I don't pay too much attention to Ethereum and their new minting process with proof of stake as opposed to proof of work. Mm-hmm. But supply is going to be an issue. If there's only, you can scale that out. The what's his name? Oh my gosh. Oh, our buddy in Florida. I'm brain farting on his name. I feel so bad now. Come on.
Who we were talking about earlier?
No, the legend.
Oh, Sean.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, Sean sent me an email a while back, basically breaking down when there would be no more XRP that would be in escrow. Okay, you can do the same thing, right? So what happens to supply? Who all has it? How is that going to work, right? These are quote unquote ticking time bombs, so to speak, in a way. So, if supply is an issue, okay, is everybody going to get it? No. Is everybody going to be able to buy at one time? No. Your investment acquisition and liquidation is going to be different than a corporation or a business. And that's based on rules. Some big business, they have their own rules that they have to adhere to in order to, keep going on with their business. They might have shareholders and they got to meet those obligations, based on the agreements, so is there going to be a liquidation? Yes. But now they might be trying to accumulate more of the asset that was a kind of a gamble at the time. Now they're like, hey, everybody's getting on board with this. We need more of a position. Okay, cool. then what else can we sell to get a bigger position of that? You know, and I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that happening in short time. And the miners, I know some of the miners, they're not selling. And I
Right.
actually asked the question of I'm like, well, why aren't they selling? Like, what's the thing? It's like, well, they're holding out. It's like, yes, I know they're holding out, but why are they holding out? It used to be the story where they had to liquidate in order to keep the business. And that's where I kind of found my speculative answer of, well, who's backing these companies now? You know, has there been deals? I know BlackRock's move is to just get a controlling stake in those companies, and that could be the thing. Now they got that company has liquidity. Okay, we're not selling them anymore. We're just going to hold on to them.
Yeah,
you know,
it's never going to market.
Right, never. It's not going to go to market. This is where an over-the-counter might have an opportunity, right? Where even at these big exchanges, they have an over-the-counter department, but you might not be able to get on that list to be able to say, "Hey, Fred," or "Hey, Sally, can you plug me on, $10 million worth of XRP at the spot price right now and do a side deal?" I think that's going to be an interesting to see. But for individuals like yourself, me, you, and the goalpost, man, I can buy $10 every day.
Yeah.
I got that. That's no problem. But I think supply will be an issue. Supply already is an issue for the big money. They got a problem, right? So now they're gonna, which is great. I love to see this because they're showing us what they do when they can't go initially get the thing directly. Their next move is, well, okay, how do I control it? How do I get a stakehold in a position to eventually control it so I do get some down the road? They're never short-term sighted. If they can do the short-term thing, they'll take it. Got it. Okay, we're done. What else are we doing? Same as we were doing yesterday. Hitting a bucket of balls and having a brew-off or whatever. I'm going to be having tea, of course.
Yes.
But it's interesting to see them do these moves. And I think for me, that's been the fun part, is to watch these big fish finally move, because we don't see them move in our daily lives. We get to see them do their strategies with what they have. It's been so awesome. Commercial real estate is in a world of hurt.
That is so well put, Simon. This, when you're actually focused in on one thing, like back in the day, I was wearing my tinfoil hat. My dad's like, just look at economics. Why are you looking at politics? Why are you looking at all these different, hey, here's the big ocean. It's like, look at what are the fish doing? What are the, can you zoom in? And if you look at the money hard enough, you can see where it goes. Sometimes, right?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, it is sometimes.
Yeah.
So I recommend zooming in on your own money to see where it goes.
Yes. Yeah, it might
will help you.
Chick-fil-A or
if you're in Chick-fil-A line, back it up right now. Just never mind, cancel the order. It's that big. Go ahead.
I love you guys. Let's get everybody on their day here soon. I'm down, man. I was thinking just another 30 minutes. Here we do. I've had. I didn't even have a voice.
You're sick. Oh, you're sick. I'm sorry. I'm keeping your kid.
Yeah, I'm like
bro, chicken noodle soup and call it a day, man.
There must be a rest period. There must be, So, but I got other stuff cooking too, and I know you all do. Man, I appreciate all of you. I could talk to Simon for 4 hours straight.
And
we have. And man, I love tossing you up questions, man, because you always you knock them out of the park, dude. And I love hearing from you. I love your channels.
Thanks, man.
Everybody who maybe seeing Simon for the first time, check out Dip and Toe Crypto. And Simon
Oh, dude,
that
I'm
is-
so glad. I'm so glad you said that. Oh,
What do you got?
We have a very special guest coming on this week. I can't say who because right now, as far as I know, it's still going to be happening this week. You're definitely going to want to check out the first hour of the show. Like, most definitely, this is a huge thing for Melissa. This is a huge thing for myself. We are very blessed to have this individual come on to the Dipito Let's Talk Crypto show this Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Definitely check it out. And if you can't make the live, cool. Watch it the next day. But we are very happy. Melissa is giddy as a schoolgirl, man. She's hyped, man. She is so hyped. So,
man.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, come out and check out the show this Wednesday for sure. And check out the tweets if you're on X. Because if we have to do a schedule change, then we'll have to do it. But yeah.
And
I want to tell you, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to tell you.
Oh man,
I'm not going to tell you.
We're just gonna have to tune in. You know,
you're gonna have to tune in. I'm sorry.
We behind the scenes, we're all talking, especially me and Simon and my dad and Ron, about Vegas, and I'm really excited. Simon did some videos, and the way that he worked it last year is what I want to do. I really, I love. I'm that social butterfly like you are, bro. So like getting social, turning the camera phone on. Okay, being a little studied up. Yeah, I want to be a little studied up on all these companies that are going to be at these shows at Bitcoin and XRP, and just go up to them. Can you give us 6-7 minutes about your product? And I feel like that next big step for all of us is going to be the DeFis and how do we make money on our crypto without selling it? And all those things. It's like these companies they've already been doing it. They're companies big enough to come to shows like this and pay money, and they want to be out there. They want exposure. So I'm so excited to work with you on all of that.
Oh, it's gonna be a good time, man.
We're gonna try to bring you guys
no sleep. Oh, we're gonna have no sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose my voice again, like that week. No. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So I can't wait.
Look forward to it. Oh, it's gonna be a good time. Make sure you got a good phone, lots of cords, lots of batteries, lots of earbuds. Maybe get another second set, some wireless microphones. You can buy cheap ones, so buy 2 if it's in your budget. I already got the Vegas budget kind of worked out. Like, yeah, well, you have to, man. It's like one of those things. Like, wait, I want to do this good. I don't want to come down there willy nilly, not ready to participate in the things I want to participate in. So I'm already setting parameters of like I'm willing to spend this much money in Vegas on food, on entertainment, or maybe special nights out or whatever. Like, each one of those is its own little category, and I'm setting my max. But that doesn't mean I have to spend that.
Right.
So, anyways. Cool, man. Well, you go get some sleep and some good shut eye. You got to work the horse hard,
bro.
Thanks for inviting me, man. It's always a pleasure to come on with you and your father.
Everybody, love you. Happy New Year to everybody. Hope it's an amazing 25 for all of us. Appreciate you all.
Take care.